Hey, what's up everyone? Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 Q&A. Today you guys asked me some questions on Twitter and I'm going to give you guys my answers and opinions. So, hopping in, the first one from Spencer Girth. Other than the Oppressor, what vehicle in GTA Online would you recommend to have fun with? That's an interesting question because I know in the past you guys have asked, what's the most fun vehicle? And I've always said the Oppressor because I think it is. It's the most variety. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. But other than it, what's the most fun one? That's a tough question because after the Oppressor, I would say there's a few. I mean, the Insurgent custom pickup is a pretty fun one. If you just want to go on like super long police chases, that's something me and my friends have done just because it has the explosive resistance. So if someone in your lobby does want to come after you, they're not going to kill you instantly unless they just shoot you out. But it also obviously gives the gunner up top, he can take them out or take out the police and stuff. So that's pretty fun, especially if you have a full truck full of people. The Insurgent pickup custom, and even the regular Insurgent's kind of fun to just drive around in. Some other ones, I don't know, man. I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to like sport cars and supercars, dude, free roam it's a tough place to be. Just because of the Oppressors, the Hydras, the Buzzards, all these armored vehicles that lock on. It's like if you're not in an armored vehicle or a vehicle that can shoot missiles, you're at a disadvantage because like you're such an easy target for people. But I guess when it comes to other fun vehicles, the Valkyrie is actually a surprising answer. I know this one is something that many people probably don't think about, but if you own one, it's actually really fun to have a pilot or have a few people in it. It does require more than one because you can't be the only one person in it. So you are going to need some friends in your crew to help with that. But the Valkyrie is pretty fun because it's got that really good like sort of mini explosive cannon and then the regular cannons on the side. So that one's pretty cool. And I mean, I guess if you want to get a little bit more deeper into it, going back to the sports stuff, I know like I was just saying, you're kind of at a disadvantage here. But in terms of just driving around, maybe you're in a solo public lobby or an invite-only lobby, you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Some of the sport cars, but the Comet Retro Custom in particular, that one's really fun, I find, if you stance it, which means you have to shoot like around the rims to sort of lower it to make the suspension all weird. It's kind of complicated. You can Google it if you want. And it sort of drifts. So that's a really fun car to just drive around and sort of drift in if you do stance it. But those are some of my answers. If you guys want to add on to that, definitely let me know in the comments. Now, the question that many people probably want to know, X15 said, what vehicle will come out tomorrow? Well, we only have two left, the XA21 and the Ardent. Now, the only reason I'm going to say the XA21 possibly could come out tomorrow is because the last, like, 2 or 3 vehicles have been from the Warstock Cash and Carry website. So maybe Rockstar don't go with the Ardent only because they want to switch it up. But then again, it is Rockstar. None of the decisions they make sense. So, we might be seeing the Ardent tomorrow, and then the week after, the XA21. I think the rumor that's always been going around is the XA21, the supercar, is going to be last. But maybe if the Ardent does come out tomorrow, it will bring, I don't know, something cool with it. Although it'll probably just be an extension of the double GTA money on the adversary mode, which is going to be kind of unfortunate. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Sorty, have you ever considered modding in GTA Online? Well, I've actually done like a live stream or two where I modded in GTA Online. Now, granted, it was in a private lobby with only people who wanted to join, so it wasn't like I was in a public lobby. I've always been, or like my stance on modding in online is, as long as you're really not doing it in a public lobby, like I'm totally fine. Because I mean, I guess you can cheat technically. And when I say modding, I mean like spawning stuff in, not dropping money and all that other stuff. But when it comes to spawning some of these crazy vehicles and the cargo plane and stuff, that's so much fun to do in private lobbies. So I always thought that sort of stuff was fine. I mean, as long as you're not messing with other people, I don't have a problem with it. I don't see really what's wrong with it. I mean, obviously I know what's wrong with it in terms of what Rockstar sees, because less shark cards as always. But I'm a fan of modding if you're not harming anyone. Ahmad, will Rockstar give us free money again? This time to everyone, not a select few. So if you're new around here, if you haven't really been following GTA for very long, this is something that Rockstar do quite frequently. They usually always have some sort of free money event or something like that, just to get people excited, get people curious to come back to the game. I'm sure once the next 2 weeks come and go, because there will be no more cars, like no more drip feeding after that. I'm sure they'll do some free money event or some really good double money event. And once that does happen, I will definitely let you guys know in the form of a video. Overweight Gamer, do you think Rockstar will ever add more guns to become the Mark II version? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I've said this before. I think what they did was just a test and see if people would like the Mark II versions, but there's so many weapons in the game, so why not? You know, people would probably buy them, especially if they're good, so I don't see a reason for them not to, especially if they were going to, you know, maybe add or do a gun running part 2, like I may have mentioned in the video earlier today. Spencer, what armored vehicle would you invest purchasing to help with gun running supply missions? So I mean, granted, this is just me when I'm doing like solo runs. I always use my oppressor. I know that's not an armored vehicle. This is not really what you're asking, but I'm just saying I use the oppressor a lot just because it's kind of good to have that, because you can get around quickly, and if people are coming after you, you can easily evade them. When it comes to armored vehicles, I mean, look, the 3 main ones, you have the 2 Insurgents and the Night Shark that just came out. I guess if you want, you can either throw in the Duke of Death or the Armored Kuruma, but the only thing I would say with those is that the Armored Kuruma can't even take an explosive before you die. I mean, the Duke of Death, it can take 1 explosive, but that's something you're going to want to take into account. I would say the Night Shark, though. I mean, yeah, you can't shoot out of it if you have the windows sealed, and the gun on the front is not very good, but it's super fast, it's super quick, it's really nice to handle. It has that armor, and if someone wants to blow you up, they're going to need so many explosives to hit you to actually get you to blow up. And the best part about the Night Shark is that, for the most part, apart from the livery, you don't need the MOC to upgrade it. You can upgrade all of it at the LSC. So if maybe you haven't bought an MOC, I think the Night Shark is probably the best way to go about, you know, resupplying. Then we have T. Brasco. Are the double GTA money adversary modes easier and more profitable than gun running business in GTA? I wouldn't say they're easier or more profitable. It's just a different thing. It's it's a change of pace. That's one thing that when you're grinding in GTA Online, you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, because it gets boring. It gets repetitive. So by doing, you know, these double money adversary modes every now and then, it's like, okay, this is fresh. This is something new. Although this last overtime adversary mode, or this last double money adversary mode, overtime spectate, not that good. So that one, you know, you're gonna have to want to stay clear because it's just really boring. However, most of them are pretty fun and pretty good for the time that they are double money. So I would just say, you know, do both. You don't need to choose one. Jeremy, do you think they will ever introduce a grappling hook to the game? Well, this isn't Just Cause, so no. I don't think they'll ever get that crazy. I mean, look, the oppressor is crazy, but I think it still somewhat fits in GTA. Like, I think the craziest they'll ever go is if they ever add a jetpack. That's probably as nutty as they're willing to go. And then the final question from Galaxify. What year do you think GTA 6 will be in? And do you think they will add new technology, Teslas and stuff like that? So this is a really interesting question because, you know, when it comes to GTA 6, and I know GTA 6 is like super far away, but many people always ask, oh, what city is it going to be in? When's it going to come out? But no one really asks what year will it be in. So I thought this was an interesting question. Let me know in the comments, you know, if you could have GTA 6 be in a certain year, which would you have it in? So one thing, if it went back in time, that would be really cool. Although I don't think they would do that just because it wouldn't fit with GTA Online. But having it be like somewhat of a successor to Vice City, like in the 80s, that would be awesome. In terms of future dates, so if they just keep it the same year it comes out, sort of like GTA 5, then, I mean, yeah, there'll definitely be some new stuff in it. I mean, Teslas, I don't know, there's a bunch of new stuff that came out within the last 5 years, and I'm sure Rockstar would love to sort of mess around with in their game. But one thing I thought about, what about like a somewhat of a future game? And now I'm not talking about like the year 3000 in the future, but just a few years, you know, maybe 2025. What if it takes place then? Or like 2030? I think one, that would give them a good gap between GTA Online and the next game, GTA 6. So, you know, maybe there could be a really cool story, like our characters got too old to be in the game, and that's why we're new characters or something, you know. And it could also probably help, you know, if they do want the next version of GTA Online to extend for like 5 years. I mean, in GTA Online now, it was kind of weird because for the longest we thought we were still stuck in 2013. But then in the gun running DLC, we learned that time has actually sped up and it's now 2017. So if they don't want to have like a super weird gap, they could just say, all right, the game's coming out, let's just say in 2020. However, the game itself is based in the year 2025. So by the end of it, you know, everything will be caught up. And I think that would also give them some freedom to mess around with certain things that maybe are ideas like in real life but aren't made, you know, like certain cars, flying vehicles. I don't know, there's some stuff I'm sure Rockstar would love to sort of work with, and I think that sort of ties into your new technology question part. So let me know in the comments. That's my thinking along the lines of what year GTA 6 will be in, but let me know what your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.